the end of March update for the 2025 Australian federal election. Before I get started with the prediction in itself, I just want to make two updates. So one, depending on the schedule of the campaigning, my next update might come in before the end of April, so that I have about a week to collate polls for the May the 3rd election, so that there's more of a May prediction before the results. So the next update may actually come in a few weeks and not at the end of the month necessarily. And two, I've got here a list of battleground seats in every state. So these are seats that, based off my predictions, either will flip or are within 5 percentage points of going to a different party than what I predicted. So they're essentially the battleground seats. Let's get right into it. So in New South Wales, we have seen overall a pretty big two-party preferred swing. It was firmly a Liberal state for a while by a few percentages. It's now very close in two-party preferred. We see overall the Greens have continued to keep up their numbers there. We're seeing independents are struggling. And in this prediction, here's the main things I'm saying. So the Liberals, I do believe they end up flipping Gilmore and Bennelong by between 1 and 2%. But overall, I don't see them flipping much of anything else. I think Richmond at this point, the Greens win. It looks like just statewide they're advancing compared to Labor. I do think they take the lead in Richmond ahead of Labor, and from there they should beat the Liberals pretty handedly. In terms of independent seats, there's not going to be much swing. I do think Cowper and Bradfield are winnable for the independents, but overall, if we're looking at two-party preferred, there is a chance Labor could win Gilmore and Bennelong. I heard something in the news today, some sort of scandal thing about the Liberal from Bennelong, but I haven't verified that, so, just look up for your own if you're interested. And there are, of course, a lot of Labor seats, which in previous predictions had being flipped. Right now, I have them being held by the Liberals. So, we then go to Victoria, where we are seeing a little bit of a drop-off in what we saw as a surging Liberal vote, but it's still a very big swing to the Liberals. It's still 6.3%. Extremely big, the biggest out of any state. I think Northern Territory has a bigger swing, but that is such a small population. And we are seeing in Victoria Labor and Greens both going down, which makes an interesting case in a Labor versus Greens electorates, which we'll get to. But another big story here is the Liberals gaining nearly 4% against the Independents. So we'll see how that turns out. So the Liberals, it doesn't look like any of the seats they already hold will be close. They should flip Goldstein and Kooyong on narrow margins from the Independents from the latest polling, so that would be a big change for them. The seats of Bruce, Chisholm, and Menzies are all seeming that they're going to flip. Menzies is definitely going to be quite a distant swing to get to where I've got it, but I'm thinking it is very, very possible. I wouldn't actually list it as a battleground seat because it's beyond a 5% margin, but it is held by Labor. It would be a flip. And then Labor have also got 4 electorates that are within 2 percentage points that the Liberals could potentially win. Let's look at independence. The seat of Indy is predicted to stay with Helen Haines, the independent MP, and Labor is defending the seat of Wills. It is 2.2% margin ahead of the Greens, so it is a swing. The Greens are expected to do 2.4% better against Labor in electorates where they're running against each other. And in the seat of McNamara, currently held by Labor, I once again have the Greens just gaining that little bit of support required to pop ahead of Labor, and from there they should reasonably easily flip the seat from Liberals. That's always difficult to calculate because we don't know the difference in preference flows exactly. We now get to Queensland, and we haven't seen much change. We have seen the quite a while now, there won't be much of a swing in any direction. The main things we're looking out for is there enough of a swing in either direction between Labour and the Greens that it'll affect how Labour and the Greens do against each other in some crucial seats. Well, the Greens are projected to finish slightly ahead of Labour in Brisbane, meaning it'll be Greens versus Liberal again, which the Greens are projected to win. The seat of Ryan is also expected to move a little bit to the left. There's a slight swing to the Greens against the Liberals predicted. No seats expected to flip in all of Queensland. The one other seat is Bob Katter. He's predicted to win that quite easily. And overall, there is the seat of Dixon. Keep an eye on that, because that is Peter Dutton's seat. So if that were the one to flip, that would certainly be a news story. The Green seat of Griffith is projected to have a big enough margin that I'm not putting it as a battleground seat right now. Now let's go to WA, where we are mixing poll results with state poll results and the state election result, which was very good for Labor. So overall, the polling seems pretty consistent with where it was before. Almost every single electorate in the state except one is Liberal versus Labour. Overall, I have the seat of Moore, which is currently held by the Liberals, slightly flipping to Labour, but it's going to be by a few thousand votes, and the new seat of Bullwinkle, which is notionally Labour, I do think will be won by Labour. The seat of Canning, I think that's something the Liberals need to be worried about. That is very close to flipping as well. There's been a lot of talk of can Labour replicate their success in the West from the last election. Currently, I have them doing better than that, but that could just be from good state election results. That trend could reverse as the campaign goes on. The seat of Curtin, held by the independent Kate Cheney, I think, that is projected to slightly stay independent, but it probably won't be called on election night. It's going to be close. Let's look at South Australia, where every seat except the seat of Mayo, which is firmly others with the Centre Alliance, every other seat, Liberal versus Labour, expected to be a Liberal swing. We've seen Labour doing well in South Australia for a while. Their fortunes have reversed, and we now have the Liberals actually flipping the seat of Boothby, which they held before 2022. We go to Tasmania. Not really anything new, no changes from last time. We have Lions flipping on a very narrow margin. Of course, not much polling there, could be unreliable, we don't know. Oh, hold on, let me correct that here. That should be saying 3-1. There we go. Alright, and for ACT, no changes. All three of those seats are going Labour. We look at Northern Territory, no new polls. We have Solomon flipping on the battleground margin. Lingiari, I do have mathematically projected to be quite a big win. If we start to get some individual seat polling, I can make some more updated predictions. There is some seat predictions on sites like YouGov, but those are MRP polls, which tend to provide a good national picture, but not so good seat by seat. So overall, let's look on how things are going. So nationwide, the poll results show the Liberals dropping by about 2%, Labour going up by 1%, Greens going up by about 0.5%, One Nation dipping by about 0.5%, and Independents going up by about 1%. Overall, in two-party preferred, there seems to be about a 2% shift to Labour. This is the first update I have since August last year where Labour's ahead. It's also our largest lead in the polling since June last year, so that's certainly a big change. And we're actually seeing in the primary vote that the Liberals are definitely dropping off here. So overall, I am saying now that the most likely government based on these results would be a sort of agreement between Labour, the Greens, and one or two independents. You need 76 for a majority, Labour has 68. I think they'd work out some sort of deal with the Greens to get to 74. I don't think a coalition because they've had a lot of disputes. And I think they'd want to negotiate with Greens because it's a single bloc that gets them 6 seats, meaning they'd only need to negotiate with 2 independents. Overall, I do think Labour, with the most seats, will be in the best position to form government. I think if Labour gets the most seats, they effectively win the election. With the Liberals, it's a bit more complicated. I think they need to get a few more seats because Labour just has the aspect of more Greens being there, more likely to work with them. So, yeah, that is my current prediction. Labour back in the lead for forming government. Thanks for watching and see you soon.